Christine, and this is State of Grace Tarot. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I'm not really sure, what all I have planned for today. This is my first one of these, but I felt drawn to, I don't know, give like a mid-month practice update or just, I don't know if this is a vlog, a practice update, or a rant about how many tarot decks I've bought in the last month. I don't have them all out. I'm not going to walk you through any of them, but I do think that I will walk you through my planner. Now, this is a Hibonacci Weeks, and I do not have a case for it yet or a cover. It's on its way, or it should be, but I have not received that yet. A few years ago, I had all the bullet journals, all the notebooks, and I was very big into writing things down and really drawing and doodling and handwriting a lot of my journals and my thoughts and handwriting down. I did workouts. I logged what I ate. I didn't do any of that electronically. I did it all in my journal. And I did find a lot of value in that. But then, as work got busier and I took on different roles at work, I definitely got away from that. And at some point I wanted to have a little bit more freedom and I didn't want that discipline. So I moved away from that and I got away from it a little bit. But in that, I think I lost a little bit of my intentionality behind my actions day to day. And quite frankly, it felt a little lost. Like I've been very busy and I've been very, I don't want to say successful at work, but I've made a lot of progress at work, and I do feel like that has been my main focus, and I didn't necessarily need a bullet journal to help me do that. But now, I'm really wanting to dig into a more spiritual side of my life, a more fun practice, get back to being a little bit more creative and making space for that in my life. And I was still very resistant to doing a handwritten journal because I am taking on a new role at work and it'll have a lot more traveling. And so I didn't want to be tied down to having to carry something physically with me. I wanted something I could take um, with me and not have to have a whole lot of things that I could carry. So I needed it to be on my phone or on a laptop or an iPad. Or, well, I don't have an iPad, but maybe someday. So I wanted something electronic. Then, sorry, my dogs are deciding to play. Um, so I didn't want something to physically hold me down and something that I had to carry and be heavy as I, flew from place to place and carrying it through the airport. It all just sounded very overwhelming. And so I was very resistant to getting a physical planner. But I've always enjoyed planning and having a plan. And I very quickly realized at the beginning of this year that I needed something like that, especially if I'm going to be more intentional. I needed something to kind of log what I'm planning, like to get physically down on paper what I want to do, and then how am I measuring myself against that. So enter the Hibonacci weeks, which I think is going to be really beneficial with having the actual calendar and then a note side so I can do like my to-do list. But one of the things that I am doing this year, which I've never done before, is doing a tarot card, a pull of a card of the day. Now, I've done a lot of cards of the days, but I've never actually logged it. And so one of the things that I'm doing in here is logging my card of the day. And this is more of a practice to maybe not give me a message for the day, but a reflective practice. I draw the card in the morning, and then at the end of the day or the next day, I reflect back on how that card showed up for me throughout the day. And that way I start to build a more personal relationship with each card in the tarot. And then I also have my year ahead spread cards noted at the top here, so I can see, how am I? Can you see that? How am I using this energy, or how is this energy showing up throughout the month? Like, this year is the year of the Hermit. That's the card of the year. The 2025 adds up to 9, which is the Hermit. And so I'm currently doing a deep dive into the Hermit card and the meanings behind the Hermit card. For me personally, this is my death year. My birthday and year add up to 13, which is the death card. So I'm planning on doing a deep dive of that. There's a lot of change and transformation, and internal and external, that I'm going through this year. And so really seeing how this death card is showing up is really interesting. So, and not scary at all. Like, change is inevitable, like, and we're all human, and we grow and change throughout our lives. And you know being able to walk away from things that no longer serve me is something that I'm working on. And so each month also, since I have my year ahead spread, that I'm planning on doing deep dives into those. And I think my plan is to do a video for each of these cards, not my daily cards. Maybe eventually. I'm already doing daily videos right now, but I think one of the best ways to know that you've learned something and that you have it within you is to be able to articulate and teach it to somebody. And I've never been great at that. So that's one of my challenges for myself for this year, is to learn the cards, internalize them, and then be able to teach them. So I'm starting small. My goal is to do my year ahead spread, those cards, and kind of reflect on how it's showing up for me throughout the month. So that's one of the things that I'm keeping track of in my planner, which is really nice. What else is in here? It was also fun, like, decorating this. It's not really my style, but it definitely has a lot of like a softer energy to it. I find sometimes that it's hard for me to balance my physical activity. Like, I like doing CrossFit, but it's hard to kind of marry that up and have the balance between something so physically demanding and something that's so not, which is like something, mental, like my meditation, and really being able to have that balance and figure out how I can truly incorporate both into my life, because I do enjoy both of them so incredibly much, and I find so much value in working out, as well as the more spiritual and emotional journey. So something else I have in here are decks I want to deep dive. And the list is small because I'm trying to not go overboard. I could literally write down all my decks, all my new decks. I mean, what do I have right here? I have the Fairy Tale Tarot that, well, it didn't just come out, but they re-released it by Lisa Hunt. And, I'm definitely being drawn to this whole enchanted forest, magical fairy vibe right now that, I don't know, something's really drawing me. I think I purchased 4 or 5 decks that are, enchanted forest, enchanted gardens. I have my Tarot of a Moon Garden that is my daily deck right now that I'm so enjoying, and I don't know if I'll ever put this away. Like, I am vibing with this deck right now, and I'm really enjoying that. So I definitely need to dive deeper. But these are more, um, yeah, the Moon Garden is one of them on there. But deck studies, I have um, the top one is the Thoth deck, and then the Hermetic Tarot, and Journey, which I have over here. This guy. Thank you. The I'll do a flip through, or maybe I already did. I need to post it. I have a whole like recent deck haul that I did in December that I'm honestly not super proud of the video, but I filmed it, I did it, and this is all about growth and doing the thing. So I'm gonna post it. Why not? So the Thoth and the Hermetic tarot are ones that I definitely want to study, and I think I'm debating. I think I might do the Deccan Walk this year because I really want to learn some more tarot correspondences, especially with astrology. I've never been like super into astrology, so I think this will, one, help me understand the minor arcana and how it relates to astrology, but also just learn a little bit more about astrology in what I'll call smaller bite-sized chunks, because it's a whole year long practice. So I think that's kind of one of the things that I think I'm going to do it. That starts in March, so I have time to continue to meditate on that and figure out if I do have enough time. Another thing, I have a little page of the things that are part of my practice now that I regularly do, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I haven't been doing much, because it's so in your mind a little bit. But I did reflect on, what do I do? What is part of my practice? And one of the things that I'm pretty consistent at is I do the morning pages by The Artist's Way, um, by Julia Cameron. I've really enjoyed this practice. Now, I don't handwrite them because I don't have time for that. No, because like I said earlier, I don't want to take a physical journal with me, especially knowing that I have a lot of traveling coming up in my future. So I've decided that that journal is going to be electronic. And that journal, I have my actual journal, I have my tarot journal, I have my gratitude journal. I also have a journal for my fellowship practice with Dawn Michelle, and her Enchanted Library practice that we're doing this year. So I have a specific journal for that. And they're all housed in one electronic format, which I really enjoy. Um, what else is on here? I do the card of the day. I'm doing my monthly card study, like I said. I also, well, am I lying if I say I meditate? I've meditated twice this year. There's so much value to meditation, and that is one of the things that I do feel like I need to get back to a little bit more. I'm not failing at it by any means necessary, but I do think I need to be more intentional about that practice because I do find so much value in it. It rejuvenates me. It allows me to be calm in the storm that is life sometimes, and really it helps to be centered, and to be able to take the time and make the right decisions and be able to make the connections and open my heart a little bit. So it's definitely a practice that I need to make sure I'm being intentional about doing. um let's see, one of the things I also want to do this year with with either my monthly cards or just in general, hopefully I can get through all of the whole tarot, is doing some path working with the cards so I can really internalize what the cards mean to me. I know that there's, different decks you can do it with. You can do it, I probably I'll start with like the Rider Waite Smith and then maybe go from there. Maybe Thoth, just to like build relationships with the cards and with the tarot and the archetypes. Um, another another thing that I'm really enjoying is I use tarot as like a writing prompt as far as some of my creative writing. One of the other day I decided to, just like lay out. I have the tarot landscapes deck, and I really got that deck specifically for picking out the settings of some of my stories. So I really enjoyed that, and building out archetypes using the wild unknown archetypes and like who are the people and what are their weaknesses, and using the tarot to like build the story a little bit, get it started, and then just taking that and running with it. I've really enjoyed that, and hopefully this year I can get maybe a book out of it. We'll see. I've never actually finished a book. I have a couple of stories that I am working on, but we'll see what happens. One of the other things that I'm doing that I think I have a video out on this or will shortly is doing the monthly moon reflections. I've always really enjoyed doing like a moon, working with the moon. And I quite regular, growing up, my family always would go and look at the moon, or while we were driving, stop at the top of the hill and really enjoy the full moon and being together. So I've always kind of felt this connection with the moon. And so this year, my year of intentionality, that's my word of the year. I want to be really intentional with what I'm doing with the moon. And so I've already prepped my monthly moon messages that I will reflect on as the year goes on, for each full moon and each new moon. But on my phone, I have an app. Excuse me. On my phone, I have an app that tracks the moon, and it's one of those little widgets. So I literally see the moon every day, and I do like that it kind of helps. It feels like it helps me stay connected to nature a little bit, and bigger things, and really be connected to the flow, the natural flow of the world. So I find a lot of value in that. Let's see. Another thing I do is some evening reflections. This is hit and miss. I get up in the mornings and I really like to do tarot first thing when everything is fresh, especially for my own self reflection. I'm already doing my morning pages. I have my meditation table. Don't mind all the boxes of tarot cards that haven't been put up yet, but I typically have my laptop over here, and then I'll have my tarot cards here. I'll do my spreads or however whatever I'm doing for the day. And then up at the top is probably what would be considered an altar table. It's a focal point. It's where I put my intentions, and it keeps it above the rest, the mundane that's down here. I picked this table up years ago, specifically for a meditation table. I really liked, the circles, and I liked the different levels, and this has been like a game changer for me, and I just love the vibe. I wish it was bigger. I wish this whole room, well, this whole room is my meditation room, but it all centers around my little meditation table. So one other thing I have in here that I have it set up, I haven't done anything with, and I can't decide if I'm going to do like collaging or art, but I have my little, I have the Hermit, and I have the Death card. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys. Death. And I have the Eight of Wands, which is my January card. And I want to put my card study in here. And I'm thinking it's not going to be writing. Like maybe it'll have some keywords, but I'm thinking it's either going to be collage or drawing. Not that I'm great at drawing, but that doesn't matter. But I think it'll be something artsy on the page here. And there's lots of pages. In the back, I have my books. So this is a list of 100 things. And I have at least 13 that I know I want to read this year. And some of these are fiction and some of them are nonfiction. It takes me a little bit longer to get through nonfiction books because I honestly just don't enjoy it. I would rather be in a fictional book in a fantasy world or in space, and really be able to transport myself out of reality and into the book and into the world of the book. So it takes me a little bit to get through nonfiction books. I'm counting. I have them noted if they're Kindle books or if they're audiobooks because I'm going to count it if it's an Audible book. There's a couple of series that I only listen to on Audible and because I enjoy them so much, but I don't want to say I don't have time to read, but I can do it in the car. I can listen to it while I'm getting ready. I can multitask and really enjoy and get lost in these books on Audible. And so I do find that really valuable. So I'm counting it as books being read. I know that's somewhat controversial. I'm counting it. And then I have my 365-day meditation tracker. And I wasn't lying when I said I have only meditated 2 days this year. Now today I did take a beat and focused on my breathing for a little bit, but that was for maybe like 2 minutes on my back porch in the sun. You tell me if you think that counts. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing for this year and what my plans are. Let me know what your plans are for the year. And how do you track your tarot goals and your tarot journey? Maybe you're already a tarot expert, but this year for me, my tarot goal of the year is to really, really learn and be able to incorporate the tarot into my everyday life. That's what I want. I love the pictures and the art and the story it tells and the reflective nature of it. I do find a lot of value in that, and I'm really enjoying it. So thank you all so much for listening to me just ramble. I do hope you will join me on my journey, maybe do the Deccan walk with me. I'm doing my 31 days of tarot challenge right now, which quite frankly is a lot. Just one big reading a day is challenging, and getting it recorded and uploaded and posted is a lot every day, but I do find it very valuable. I think, the Celtic cross, it's really interesting how it's very clunky at first, and then as time goes on, I feel like I get a little bit better. I do know that there's definitely some questions that I'm better at answering or more comfortable answering than others. So it's just so interesting to see my progress, but also kind of get to know that side of myself. Like, which one of these questions makes me a little bit more squeamish? And that just gives me even more stuff to dig into on a personal level. And I'm here for it. So I hope you're enjoying those. I know that they're not the most interesting videos, but I'm doing it to show my journey and show my practice. We all have to start somewhere, right? So hopefully that whole process will show that it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Like once you get to be an expert, and it seems like the tarot comes so naturally to some people, which I love. I'm still in my early learning phase, which is fun and frustrating, but I'm looking forward to growing deeper in that, in the whole language of the tarot. So I hope I hope somebody out there finds value in them, because I know I do. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will talk to you again soon.